If I say I learned how to draw hands in just 3 days, that would obviously be a lie. I mean, we're talking about hands, and I'm a student as well. So drawing hands with school stress is extra stress. I mean, I can't purposely make myself depressed. Before we begin, I'd like to apologize for how late it's taking to upload this video since I received this comment asking for a step-by-step tutorial. I started editing this video for a long time, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist because this might be the 30th time I'm recording this voiceover and hopefully the last. Now, how I learned to draw hands. According to Andrew Loomis, drawing of hands must be largely self-taught. All any instructor can do is point out the facts that lie right in your hand. Flowing from this quote, I'd like to highlight the 3 underrated tips on how to draw hands, aka the tips that helped my hand go from this to this. The first tip is anatomy, aka the bone structure. Now, I know no one likes this part of learning, but it's very necessary in being able to understand why the hand is drawn in certain ways. For instance, when we draw the bone structure, we tend to notice that the rest of the fingers are made up of 4 bones, while the thumb is made up of only 3 bones. Another thing anatomy helps us realize is how the metacarpals are the bones within our palms. And since they are within our palms, we can only notice them if we flip our hands around and flex our fingers. Because these bones are hidden, the bones we can see in our fingers are called the phalanges. Each finger has 3 phalanges, but the thumb has only 2 phalanges. Where 2 phalanges meet, the knuckle is created. The knuckle is a very important part of drawing a hand as it makes the hand look significantly better. Now, a tip I use in drawing these bones that create the knuckles is by drawing them similar to the bone that Spike carries around with him. The next tip is shapes. This is where most TikTok tutorials tend to start from. Usually, the palm is represented as a square and the fingers are represented as cylinders. The knuckles are also represented in form of circles, and this can be seen in Mackerham's drawing. I've come to discover that drawing this shape in 3D form is a good way to learn how to draw hands, as it helps when I'm drawing the hand in different angles or position. After practicing anatomy and basic shapes, we're ready for the next step, which is the flesh of the hand. This tip focuses on noting the parts of the flesh that play a basic role when drawing the hand and that can make the hand look significantly more accurate. First, we've got 2 meaty sections at the bottom of the palm, one near the thumb and the other near the pinky. It's usually important to highlight this section in any way possible to avoid making the palm look flat. Next is the webby part of the flesh between your fingers. It's easy to overlook this part, but this webbing adds a lot of realism when you draw your hand, especially when the fingers are spread apart from back view. The web can't really be noticed in the front view of the hand, but it's mostly noticeable from the back view of the hand. Lastly, if you take a look at the side view of the fingers, unlike the top, which is like a straight rigid line, the underside is curved with soft fleshy sections under each finger joint. These curves play a vital role when the finger is folded, allowing the finger to bend naturally. They also help making the hand look more dynamic and realistic. As you can see in this video, I tried drawing the hand with just lines and some shapes to practice gesture. This method helps in reducing the anxiety that comes with drawing a hand. By just drawing it with lines, it makes it easier for you to draw the hands in different gesture positions. The next thing after knowing all the tips is practicing.